Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Hand of Fate 2. In the previous episode, we started the Judgment card, wherein, now that we have killed the Emperor, we must escape from the coming onslaught of the Empire itself. We managed to escape the city with no casualties to speak of, but now we must travel across the marshlands to the mountains itself. Stirring in the mire, the poor weather slows down your day's journey. To avoid the swelling bogs, you press on to higher ground and happen upon an old road through the marshlands. To the left, you see a group of Empire pursuers searching the wetlands. They hack at the reeds by the side of the road as they go checking for anyone hiding there. You check the path to the right. You hear the distant sound of a group of raiders squabbling in the northern tongue. I'd rather fight the raiders just because I have sword and shield already equipped, and because, well, I would just rather fight them. The sky opens up as you ready yourself for combat. Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with a Tyrant of Frost, but I don't think that's gonna be too much of an issue. Plus, having the ram shield versus the Tyrant will make them much easier to fight. Now that's just unfair, too, at the same time. But I still could use this as an opportunity to get some more food with Odessia's charm. I just need to get them all weakened enough. Though I don't think I'm going to use it for the Tyrant.
I owe you one.
Just gotta be careful not to accidentally kill someone. Ah, he got his armor back just in time. And a little extra food. Though I'm pretty sure I probably could have gotten the Tyrant and still all of them, but I don't remember the exact amount of time it lasts. With the raiders defeated, you notice some equipment hidden off the path of the mire. Perhaps they were guiding it. You slide down the bank to the treasure and gain 5 food.
Back to the bones. I hope you have learned to be their master.
Evidently I haven't. You lose your balance as you slide, knocking the item into the bog and losing it forever. Disappointed, you scramble up the bank and continue on your journey. Ooh, unimpressed farmer. I think we only needed 30 fame for this guy? You see an adventurer leaving a farm with a large basket of fresh vegetables and sweet pies. He grins at you as he passes, looking terribly pleased with himself. An elderly farmer flaps his hands as you near the farm. Ho, adventurer! Be you a small potato or an acclaimed hero? Come closer so my eyes can see you. He squints at you and cries out, clapping his leathery hands in joy. Why, it's you! I'm honored, adventurer, simply honored. He insists on gifting you a basket, overflowing with freshly baked bread and fruits. This guy must be doing rather well for himself to be able to give away so much. Still, all this food's gonna keep us going for a good long while.
The enemies you have made are endless, and each would stop you from fleeing your crime.
You find your companions taking cover a short way from the bridge across the raging river. Bounty hunters, Ariadne mutters. I'm sure the Empire has put a handsome reward, or a handsome price on our heads. Guild could not resist such a reward. You look up ahead. Ugh, I don't like fighting greed. This does not look good, Ariadne says. We have no other option this time. What should we do? From out of nowhere, a familiar, cantankerous goblin appears, frowning at all of you. Gerald has been sent to help. There is a boat upstream that can take you across the river. You'll have to battle the current, or you could find yourself right back here with these thugs. Gerald looks delighted at the prospect. He turns and disappears back into the rushes. Let's retreat. Yeah, what he's saying is true. This is kind of a reason I went with the Imperial Armor and the Mask of Holy Fortunes. And that's because of this very moment. See, at that river crossing is a 4-card shuffle that you need to do. And if you get a huge failure at it, not only will you have given up some equipment, but you'll also still have to fight those guys.
I cannot say that I see the point in taking a request to retrieve false idols from a false cleric, but you will make your own choices.
What used to be a lavish monastery has taken a major hit from a recent raid, a monk laments. It's a shame about the missing gold, but it's an even greater tragedy that they've stolen our holy relic. You volunteer to search for the raiders. Look, they've left a trail, calls Ariadne, pointing out an artifact behind a bush. Not bad. Let's alert the authorities. Fortunately, an Imperial watchtower is not far away. The captain is flustered at your appearance. Oh, we are honored that you would take the time to come tell us in person. Bosworth, bring the gold for a reward. Would you care for some tea? Do you mind just signing this? Yeah, this is proof that none of these events happened in order, because if this was really happening right now, they'd try and kill us. Still, though, I ain't gonna complain about all that gold.
It seems everybody wants you dead, from the high to the low.
So be it. At least it's not as expansive as the last group of greed. Just gotta be careful of the silencer. I could try going for the Decia's Charm, but I honestly think it's not really necessary at this point. I'll save it for when I'm really desperate for food. I hate fighting silencers. I really hate fighting silencers. It looks like I'm gonna have to spend a bunch of food to heal off the damage they did, but so be it. Well, something at least. And that'll cost me less food now. Let's heal up until we have about 40 food left. That should be more than enough. There we go. Yeah, I figured they'd step back. So be it. At least they don't have any phalanx. I think first things first, gotta take out that general. That AoE attack coming out of nowhere, if I'm surrounded, is gonna be a pain. Well, at least he's not brimstone. Oh, no you don't. You're not getting an arrow volley off. Okay, another group taken down with minimal damage. I don't think I'm going to push my luck in going after that one card. Well, two cards.
We have rivers that run through us, that divide us into heart and head, body and soul.
I'll just have to hope he takes from something else. Wouldn't mind him taking any of my relics. Maybe a Decius Charm, but I just have to hope he doesn't take the Mask of Holy Fortunes. Sure enough, you find the goblin by the side of the river. He points to a small wooden raft moored by the bank. Here. Goblin gives an evil smile. The current is strong. You may sink. That thing's merely a raft. How can we hope to make it to the other side? We don't have a choice. Goblin stops you as you approach the raft. You will soon have few cards to play. Gerald must get something shiny while he still can. One thing I didn't want you to take. And the one thing I didn't mind you taking. Traders of the Empire are in no place to negotiate. Gerald likes his choices just fine. Why are you helping? Gerald was ordered to. Oh, whatever. I can live without the Odysseus charm, but... ugh. Mask of Holy Fortunes, that's a real kick in the pants. Alright, let's accept the offer. He hands you a pair of weathered old oars, then wanders back into the rushes. You push off and the water begins to move you downstream. The current is strong, Ariadne calls over the roar of the river. Get to the far bank before we wash up at the bridge downriver. Together, you and your companions attempt to steer the raft to the other side. Yes, I would like your help. The current is strong, but you row hard. The dealer moves you 2 spaces downstream. With some effort, you manage to steer the raft to the far bank before you swept too far downstream. Unfortunately, I did use up Ariadne in that, so I'm gonna have to spend some time at the cards in order to get her back. Ooh, Thomas! Let's play a card game. I've got the armor for it. Ah.
A win here sets the tone for your challenge.
Alright, not bad.
Patience. Do not move too quickly, for haste breeds only failure.
See, Chef's Charm. Life received from consuming foods is increased by 50%. Yeah, that's difference. That's different. Harden, increased defense by 5. I'll take the Chef's Charm. Being able to get more life from less food, that's always going to be useful.
Hearth magic. Literally.
See, the ogre stands saying, "Thank you for your visit, human. I have enjoyed this afternoon's diversions, but now I must tend to other matters." You bid the ogre goodbye and head back into the forest. It's like this thing knows.
A source of Imperial arms, if you can merely avoid the corruption and death.
On the outskirts of a small village, you see a crowd of angry peasants confronting a squad of Imperial soldiers. The soldiers are desperately trying to keep the peace. As you push your way to the front, you learn the village has been overrun by the corrupted. An Imperial soldier addresses the crowd. "We can't spare any soldiers to take back the town. We can't equip you to take it back yourselves." The officer reveals a cart stocked with equipment. One piece of equipment only. That's all the Empire will spare. See Kolbjorn's traps. See, dodge 3 traps when activated. Traps deal 20 damage to each enemy. Or drop 3 traps. Or Ring of Food. Optionally discard any non-food gain cards. I don't think I really need that, so I'll take the traps.
Traps, crafted by a mystic. Sadly, not for the capture of them.
Just a Juggernaut of Blight? Alright. Villagers ready themselves for the assault. That's all I have to deal with then. Okay. Ah, shoot. I forgot to re-equip my ram shield. So be it. This guy's not going to be too much of a problem with or without it. It'll just make the fight go easier. Too easy. Really, the big guys are only a threat when they've got other enemies to support them. At the center of town, you find a man sobbing over the body of a loved one. As he wails incoherently, you notice the corpse beginning to stir beneath him.
Breathe. You have done well.
With a swift blow from your brilliant blade, you cleave the head from the body, halting its attack. The man continues to sob, ignorant of your intervention. Yeah, why not? I know I'm gonna have to deal with some thieves if I fail, but that's not the case. Alright, what did I miss out on? Nothing really.
Dwarves have never been purged by the Empire in the same way as other races. Frankly, They're too boring.
Your wanderings lead you to a dwarf weighed down with bags, sacks, and other knickknacks. Let's trade. I'm sure we can come to a mutually beneficial agreement. Do you have anything for trade? Yeah. Let's see, worker's hammer? Nah. Let's go for the Dionysus Revenge. He takes your item and inspects it. This wouldn't cost more than 32 gold back home. Let's see what I have to match it. No, I'm not going to accept Ariadne's offer, nice as it would be. Boo. Alright, you drive a hard bargain, but I will trade you for my item and some gold. Let us be done with the matter while I still have the shirt upon my back. The dealer draws an equipment card and worth 8 more gold than the one you traded away.
When all is lost, perhaps you can find a little extra strength to press on.
Thank you. Goodbye, the dwarf mutters, frowning at his new treasure as he turns to leave. He has no idea what he just traded away.
Make your choices carefully. Your friends have served you well, but they must serve you a final time.
You find your companions huddled around a small fire at the beginning of the foothills, at the edge of the marshlands. Without a word, Kolbjorn throws a pot of water on the fire with a hiss. Then, with a tired nod, you all begin your climb. Together, you scramble up the slippery banks to the drier lands of the foothills. As dusk falls, you look back over the marshlands. There you see the torchlights of the Empire's search parties, hot on your trail. Suddenly, Ariadne stops. She puts her arm out in front of you, blocking your way. You look up the path ahead. Bounty hunters. Sure enough, up ahead in the shadows of the rocky outcrops, you see them, a gang of countless thieves, waiting to claim you all as their bounty. One hooded figure steps forward. Well, if all our paydays haven't come at once, he chuckles. There's a pretty price on your head, and we intend to claim it. Ariadne brandishes her hammer excitedly. Send me at him. They're easy fodder for my hammer. Do as she says. In this case, you want to send Ariadne, the hero. Also, you're never going to use a companion twice in this. I don't know if I mentioned that. Ariadne strides up the hillside towards the hooded figure, twirling her giant hammer in her hands. Are you ready to have a good time, lads? A thief trips over himself as he backs away. It's that one that done felled Draknar the Mighty! Pretty sure that was me. Ariadne lets out a booming laugh. And now I'll squash the lot of you! She raises her hammer above her head. I don't care what the bounty is. I'd rather keep my skull intact. The small army of thieves exchange looks with one another before scattering in fear. Well, that was disappointing. Ariadne smiles from ear to ear as she returns. Did you see how they ran from me? I must be making quite a name for myself. Yes, you are. Your reputation precedes you, Ariadne, Estrella smiles as the blacksmith's daughter grins proudly. You all make your way over to the range and into the snowy hinterlands of the Empire. Now we must flee the hinterlands. A calm comes over Kolbjorn as he breathes in the cold, crisp air. This land was once the dominion of my kin. Many still hide in these hills. They will not hesitate to attack any passers-by. Malaklips nods, pointing to twin peaks in the west. The Empire still follow us with vigor. If we press on and rest only when necessary, then we may make it to the mountain pass in the west. The marigold fields and the caravan are there. That shouldn't be too difficult. Most of the stuff is already revealed to us. But first things first, I think it's time we give Ariadne a rest. And switch out to Kolbjorn the Ally. And let's see what's for sale in terms of equipment. Ring of food. Honestly, at this point, I'm good on food. Rustling behind you is all the warning you get that your life is in danger. You turn as the cords of a northern bolo wrap around your body. A party of northerners charges at you as you break free, and I still forgot to re-equip my ram shield. Oh well. It's not like it'll do any good against the northerners. I mean, granted, the extra defense will be nice, but still.
There are no innocents here.
Best to continue on our journey. For the search for spoils, we'd have to do a 4-card shuffle, and there are some losses in there, so yeah.
Tinged with flame, yet you must cross, or all is lost in vain.
Following the trail through the twisting canyon, you find a northerner encampment. There will be more too further down, Kolbjorn says, laying low in a thicket of ferns. They'll attack on sight. Gerald, the surly goblin, appears behind you. Gerald can offer you another way. Because of course you can. North is a cave, the goblin continues. The passage leads through the mountains to the woodlands in the west. He then wanders down the gully and out of sight. We could attempt to get the upper hand on the raiders, or we could take another route. Let's take another route. Again, I'm going to switch back over to my other equipment. Please don't turn our way. Good.
You are cunning, and your allies many.
You find the grumpy goblin huddled beside a large rock, sheltered from the wind of the snow-capped mountain. So what's about the cave? It's another catacomb. It'll take us down to the lower right, or lower left, though. The caverns beneath the mountain were once the home to a great king. A labyrinth of tunnels leads beyond the canyon to the other side of the mountains. Show us the cave. The way does not come free. I'd prefer to keep that, but so be it. Cry of victory is not a big deal. And again, yeah, he was ordered to. Well, it's not as big a loss as it was last time, so fine. So you head into the freezing darkness, looking back to see the old goblin silhouette watching you. Also, before I forget, re-equip everything. At least he didn't take my lion heart, because that's going to be useful in an upcoming battle. And I know we're running short on time, but we're so close to the end. I would like to finish this. You head into the freezing darkness, looking back to see the old goblin silhouette watching you. The cramped tunnel leads on for what feels like an age. As you go, you begin to find old stone sconces and worn markings on the wall. Then, with a cold gust of wind, you appear in a cavern. In a torch week's light, you can make out stone balconies and stone parapets. Then you hear something. Yeah, more skulls, of course. From the cold darkness, there comes the sound of weapons unsheathing. You've been ambushed. But again, the skeletons really aren't much of a threat. They'll set off the traps on their own, most likely end up killing a few of their own numbers. And I can just dodge roll through the group. I know I don't need it, but I may as well grab the food. Okay, that one got me. Surprising that the gold itself doesn't have any traps in front of it. At long last you emerge from the cavern, all the worse for wear. You take a moment to breathe the cool, crisp air. Right, and what's here? Raider ambush, of course. Ugh, Shaman of Frost, huh? Well, at least there's no tyrants or berserkers to worry about. Just focus her down, avoid the trappers, block the other guys, and that should do it. I was kind of hoping you'd actually charge the other guy, but whatever. Still, given the, I don't want to say weakness, but nature of the raiders, I'm surprised they made them the third enemies you have to face. Please don't turn. Darn it. And we gotta deal with a knight. So be it. At the very least, I remember to re-equip my ram shield to take care of his armor. Focus on the knight. I need to take him out first. He is the bigger threat. He really isn't fighting back because I've pretty much got him stunned. Kinda sad one of the more dangerous enemies of the game is this... How shall I put this? Easily taken down. Okay. Went down with pretty much no damage to us. Okay, before we head out, I am going to heal up. I know what the last map entails, but I'm not 100% sure if we can use the camp once we get there. Oh, and by the way, you don't actually have to have your companion equipped when you go into it. I just wasn't sure if that was 100% clear, but anyways. Got everything equipped, got our lion heart, our rings that are, well, ring that is useless. Let's move on. We don't really need any more resources, so we're not going for the other cards.
Called judgment. Here you must pay the price for your regicide, and also for your decisions.
You join your companions at the foot of the pass as planned. As you begin your ascent, Northerner warriors emerge from the craggy rocks and block your path. Clan Crowfoot, Kolbjorn growls, "They who burned my village and my people to ash." Rogvir's successor, a smaller, much younger Northerner, steps forward as you approach. "Kolbjorn of Clan Eyebright," he calls. "You bested us in battle, and as right we bear no qualms with you. But you cannot bring the Empire here. Turn back. There's only one way forward to the Marigold Fields, to the caravan. The other directions only spell death. You must send someone to parley with Clan Crowfoot." Kolbjorn, of course. He is a Northerner, after all. Kolbjorn approaches Clan Crowfoot. They bow to him, and he in turn bows. They talk quietly to one another. In a tense moment, you fear it will turn to blows, but Rogvir's successor merely clasps Kolbjorn by the neck. Rogvir was right to fear your return. He shouts, "The Emperor is dead! It is as the High Priestess desired!" It would be Clan Crowfoot's honor to hold the pass while you and your comrades make your escape. Together you make your way over the pass while the Northerners move back into hiding, to wait for your pursuers. You descend the mountain pass and enter a forest dotted with blooms of red flowers. The Marigold Fields, Malaklips shouts, "There! The caravan!" In a clearing you spy a lone wooden caravan. A mournful horn and shouting behind you signals the Empire is closer than ever. "They're here!" Estrella stops Ariadne from pulling out her hammer. "No, it's no use. We must run. Now go!" Yeah, we gotta run. And for the first time ever, we have a platinum card that wasn't placed there by us. The Empire is going to continually chase after you, and cards are going to be pulled away. Just keep running. You got 2 more cards to deal with, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue. These guys will get a move on. Shrine! That's right, there are a couple of platinum cards we didn't hit. Your quest brings you to a remote shrine high in the mountains. It is revered among the few local peasants for its remarkable healing properties. You kneel before the shrine and beseech the gods to take pity on you. I was lucky. Sunshine appears through a break in the clouds to bathe you in a radiant glow. Actually, remember, this card was severely nerfed before the release of the game. 1, it wasn't a platinum card, and 2, it could fully heal you, which would kind of break the strength card. Toshers. Alright, we've already seen this card. Yeah, I'll take the Mask of Holy Fortunes just because it'll be some extra defense. Yes, it's only 1, but come on. I'm not going to use Kolbjorn because I need all my allies up for what's coming next. I'll fight it. It's just 1 Juggernaut of Blight. Admittedly, I would have preferred Ariadne around for this just because her ability allows for smashing armor away, but so be it.
The open wilds.
Yeah, see how much of a difference the Ram Shield makes in this. before you escape the wretched sewer, you salvage what you can from their ashes. Wow, so much gold that I'm never going to be able to use. Alright, before you head off, make sure you are as equipped as possible. I'm going to stick with my Brilliant Blade. I know I'm close on the Worker's Hammer, but it's just not going to be worth it. The Ram's Shield, Lionheart's Imperial Armor. Unfortunately, I have no helmet, because that Tosher stole mine. And if you have it, I'd recommend the Lionheart just to pull you out of a bad situation should you need it. I also recommend making sure all your companions are up. Not that you really can at this point.
You have made bitter enemies, and the best of them will stop you now. One step closer, and you will reach my threshold.
The Imperial soldiers surround you as you approach the clearing with the caravan. A knight steps forward. Fools, he calls. No one can hope to escape the Empire's reach. You have survived this far not by luck or skill. You have survived because we let you. He chuckles. If the sacrifice of an emperor is what it takes to draw out the last of the mages, then it is a price that must be paid. The knight steps aside as the soldiers completely surround you. With the inevitability of the Empire closing in, you give the nod to you and your companions ready their weapons. Kolbjorn looks you in the eye. You know we're not going to get through unscathed, but I see no other way. Each available companion, that's why you want to make sure that they're up, will attempt to remove a monster card. Ariadne winds her hammer above her head as she rushes towards the enemy. May as well. Let's try for that huge success. Yes. Let's get rid of the General of Steel. Ariadne defeats her target before being overrun by enemies. Don't worry, this doesn't count as them dying. Estrella dashes towards a group of enemies, sword drawn. Should I even try for the huge success? Nah. I'm just gonna go for the regular. Huge success is surrounded by too many huge failures. Unfortunately, this means we don't get to choose who goes away, but so be it. Estrella defeats her target. Malaklep's book glows as he summons a spell.
I'm not a vain man. You must appreciate that this game, has been my focus for more years than I can count. I have a certain pride regarding its twists and turns.
So be it. Overwhelmed by the sheer number of enemies, Malaklep's falls to the ground injured. You lose Malaklep's for 5 turns, of course. Dealer draws a life pain card for every monster card until 3 remain. Wait, what? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I still have Kolbjorn. So be it, the knight says, stepping forward. He lowers his helmet and draws his weapons. He calls the last of his men. Charge! I don't know what the whole point of the 5 turns thing is. I hope it doesn't affect my ability to get the golden. It better not, because that would be a bunch of bull. Traitorous Knight. The front lines of great upheaval, there are always men who flounder anywhere but in the midst of battle. Heavily armored, a knight can easily turn the tide of battle. Use bash to break open their armor. Alright, better take care of the captain and the knight's armor first. I'm taking way too many hits on this. Alright, Traitorous Knight is down, all that's left. That is a true threat, is the captain. As honestly, the steel and the regular steel and the muskets are no real threat to me. one with the brilliant blade by my side. Okay, the battle is won, with nary a scratch upon us. I don't know what you're talking about, I didn't get hit all that much.
Here we are, perched at the moment of revelation. One more must fall.
You stumble across a clearing, the caravan waiting ahead of you. 4 mages lie lifeless on the ground. Among them is the familiar, gaunt figure of the hermit. Relinquished of the fabric mountain that draped him in the winter forest, he lies in a simple pale robe, like a burial smock. More soldiers will soon be upon you, a familiar disembodied voice echoes in your head. You must draw them away from the caravan before all is lost. Okay. Whew, I was worried. The only companion who has yet to do anything is Malacalypse, the magician. The hermit's voice fades as his body turns blue and cold. Malacalypse sighs, turning his head to the sounds of the approaching Empire army. The hermit was there with me. He faces you, smiling sadly. We brought somebody back from the maws of death that should probably have stayed in, and so brought the corruption into this plane. Malacalypse chuckles in disbelief. I am sorry. I am sorry that you had to cut off my arm. That must have been horrific. And I'm sorry that I won't be there to explain more. The one who awaits you in the caravan, do the wise thing. The bard's well-styled mustache twitches with a wry smile. I'll miss you, coin slave. Before you can protest, the bard disappears in a cloud of confetti. You hear Malacalypse's spells crackle in the distance as he leads the soldiers away. The caravan awaits. Ariadne, Kolbjorn, and Estrella draw their weapons as sounds of the Empire draw closer. Tears well in Ari's eyes. I'm not one for goodbyes. I'll never forget the time we clubbed that ogre's head in together. Estrella grips your arm briefly, with a curt nod. It has been an honor. Finally, Kolbjorn grabs your head and places his forehead gently against yours. Glory to you, sister. Now go, Estrella says. We will follow after once the coast is truly clear. Exhausted, you open the door and a voice calls to you. Come, sit, catch your breath. They will not follow you here. Your memories are fading even now, as we set the pieces in place, gone to form the soul of the game we play. That's it, we've beaten Judgment.
And so the circle is complete. The entire journey to my door has been unwoven, and we understand how we came to be. Now there is only one.
For reaching the caravan at Marigold Fields, we gain Feast of Callus 1, which means this is a quest line. We also gain Adventurer's Aid and Shadow of the Empire. For having all 4 companions with you, at the end of all things, we get 20 gold, 10 food, and 10 max life. Yeah, if you get all your companions here, you basically empower your gold, food, and max life supply cards. Rather useful if there's anything you haven't fully completed yet, which, in our case, there is.
It has been timeless, our journey together. But now we see the truth of it all laid bare. You must help me, and together we will return this world to the way it should be.
We will, in due time. However, there is one or two things I would like to get done beforehand. Some things we haven't unlocked. Just a couple of things, really. And I would like to take care of them soon, before conquering the world, the final of the challenges. But with that, we have come to an end for this episode of Hand of Fate 2. If you guys like what you see, please leave a like, subscribe for future content, don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notifications for when I upload, or to hit the straw polling to vote for our next Let's Play. And please, leave a comment down below this video. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching!